Welcome, cooks, to the Cookbook Club. Today we are back with our journey through The Bread Baker's Apprentice by Peter Reinhardt. This book so far has already taught me so much, and we're headed down to our third recipe today. We're doing ciabatta. We previously did a Poolish. I will show you how we did that. And this is one of my favorite breads. So welcome to the Amy Learns to Cook kitchen. So you have been with me now through 2 recipes in this book. I have been somewhat okay bread baker, but this is requiring me to do a lot more than I usually do with my classic recipes. This is all a substitute for doing a flat-out sourdough. We made a pre-ferment, and this is a thing that you can make that doesn't take so much time, because if I had to keep up with a starter every day, I would be in trouble, right? This allows you to bring the texture, the strength, the gluten development, and the flavor to your bread through use of a pre-ferment that you wouldn't get with just a straight line dough. So this is our Poolish. Let me show you how I made this. Okay, so we are making our Poolish, and a Poolish is fun because it's like a batter. If you're thinking about baker's percentages, the water is 107% hydrated to the flour. So whatever the weight of the flour is, the weight of the water is 107% of that. So we're going to put our flour in here. We're going to put our water in here. And we're going to put our yeast in here. The yeast is kind of funny. I had to do it in teaspoon because my scale doesn't weigh down to 1 ounce. 5 ounces or 5 grams is the lowest I can go. So we're going to. This is going to be kind of a muddy mess. So we're very close to equal parts flour and water. And it's basically, look at this pasty paste. But pasty paste is good. So we just want to stir it enough for all that flour to be hydrated. And now we're going to cover it with some plastic wrap. And this is going to sit here for like 3 to 4 hours. And then it's going to go into the fridge and we're going to leave it in there overnight. It's going to get bubbly. It's going to get amazing. This is going to develop our flavor. Okay, so it is the next day, right? And here is our Poolish. So a Poolish is a lot different than the pre-ferments we made in the past. The Italian bread, we did a biga, and for the French, we did a pâte fermentée, which is like old dough. It's like a stiffer, like similar to how your dough would be when it's done being kneaded. That's what that is. You can actually take a piece of your dough and save it for the next day or 2 days and make another loaf out of that. And that would be a pâte fermentée. The Poolish is a lot wetter. It's very wet. And the other, the French and the Italian, we cut the pre-ferment up and we let it chill like that. But we can't really do this because this would be sticky as all you know what. So we're just going to keep it like this and we're going to leave it out for about an hour to get the chill off of it. Okay, so we have some flour here and we're going to go ahead and put our instant yeast in here and we're going to put our salt in here. And we're going to mix this together. Yay. I'm nervous right now. So let me get the mixer over here. Okay, so this is a little different process than what we're used to with our other bread. So I'm going to go ahead and put our flour mixture in here. Okay, so this is our Poolish. It is very sticky, and we have to get this into there. I think I want to wet my hand. I got some water over here. And we're going to go ahead. Whoa! Blob! It's the blob! We're going to go ahead and put some water in here. This is about 90-degree water. And what's unique about this is we're going to start it off with the paddle attachment. Very strange, huh? I'm going to let this start in, and we're going to paddle this on medium. And we're going to be putting this on medium. And we're going to let this go 5 to 7 minutes. And then we're going to switch to the dough hook. So ultimately you want it to clear the sides, but it's going to stick to the bottom. If it has too sticky on the sides, you might have to splash it with flour. But it should look like this. It should look like it releases from the sides, but sticky on the bottom. Okay, so this is the fun part, because we got to get this hook out of here. This paddle out here. Well, with this sticky.
But it's
sticky. It's falling off.
Yeah, it's got low gravity.
Sticky. We're going to put the dough hook on here. Dough hook on. We're going to put it in here, and we're just going to knead it for a couple minutes. Okay, so let's turn the mixer off. I need to grab a board real quick. Okay, so we're using the oil slick method. I have a little bit of water here. This is going to be fun, my friends. I've made really hydrated sticky dough before, and it was a disaster. So we'll see what I can do this time. Peter has confidence in me. Okay, so I got me a bigger bowl, a bigger board here, because we need this to be like an 8x8 square. So we are going to do a stretch and fold on this. So up with there, in, up with here, in, up with here, in, and up with here, in. We're going to get some plastic wrap. So I'm going to lightly cover it with plastic wrap. Ooh, there we go. It's lightly covered with plastic wrap. So we're going to let this rest for 30 minutes, and then we're going to stretch and fold again. Okay, so we need to do a stretch and fold. It's been 30 minutes. A little greasy of the hands here. Pick it up. Stretch.
Ooh.
Wow, fold.
Ooh.
Stretch. Fold. Stretch. Fold. Stretch. Fold. Whoa, that is a beautiful dough. I'm gonna poof it with a little bit of flour. Dust it. Back to a lightly covered with some plastic wrap, and we're gonna let this now rise for about an hour and a half. Okay, we got a very big blob here. I'm gonna put flour down, and I'm gonna dust this with flour. Okay. We're gonna take this off. Whoa. You don't want to totally deflate this, but not much I can do because I gotta get Blob-O-Matic over onto here. Okay, so you totally want to deflate it. Whoa!
Are you greased up, Boo-Boo?
So we're just going to pat it into a square. Ciabatta is totally different. Totally different. Then we're going to take this. I'm probably going to have to spray because usually you dip it in water, but I don't have any water on me. So we're going to cut. Then we're going to cut this, and cut this. And then those are going to go on here, just like this. They're not going to be totally rectangle. Well, some of these might be. I'm gonna go cut. Whew. I don't know how my stuff's gonna be shaped, but it's all good. So I'm just going to give these a quick spray with olive oil, and we're going to go ahead and cover them and let them proof for about 45 minutes. Okay, the rules of engagement are the oven is at 500. Normally you would slide these on a stone, but my stone is small and I need to get a bigger one, right? So that's at a future situation. So here's the ciabatta. It kind of has come together, so I might have to work on that, like make it into two pans. I moved it to a cookie sheet because I wanted a little open in the oven. So the oven's at 500. We're going to put the bread in. We're going to fill a cast iron pan below it with water, and we're going to let it go 30 seconds. And then we're going to open the oven, spritz the oven, close it. We're going to do that 3 times. Then we're going to lower the heat to 450, and we're going to bake these about 10 minutes. So let's get this going. Okay, bread's going in. The other way.
Okay.
Pull this rack out here. We're going to put some water in here. Don't touch that on the rack. Whoa.
That's ready.
close this up. And we're gonna close it for 30 seconds. Okay, squirt them on down. Don't touch that on anything. Close the door. Open it up. Squirt, squirt. Don't touch that on anything. Close the door. Okay, one more last squirt. Don't touch the rack. So we're gonna lower this down.
Do that. Do it.
And we'll be back. Okay, so that's a little bit of a wild ride because the oven is hot, right? Our ciabatta looks amazing. I cannot wait to bust these open. You know, you can, I don't know if you can get a cutter that makes them perfectly square, because sometimes when you buy them in the store, they're perfectly square. Nice and like a paddle. You get to whoosh, make a sandwich out of those.
Maybe if we had a pizza stone, the bottom would be crisp.
Yeah, that's one problem, because the pizza stone, the bottom just didn't crisp up. So that's my next thing. So when these fully cool, we'll take a taste.
Yeah.
Okay, our bread is cool, and they look like little paddles. I put them in these things. So I have no expectation that I'm going to get that beautiful looking crumb. This is my very first time making these, and I want you guys to know that learning to bake bread is a process. You don't make bread one time and it comes out looking perfect. It may not even come out looking anything close to perfect, right?
Oh, no.
I do have a problem here because I don't have a stone, so I'm going to remedy that. I'm not sure. It smells good.
Oh, yeah. You're cutting at an angle.
Does it look like ciabatta? Sort of. We don't have those big, like, holes that we do.
Well, could that be because during that final rise, when you cut them into little squares,
Yeah.
you know, leave as much of that air in there as possible, so if it deflates at all, say goodbye to this?
I can tell you this. Amy is struggling, to say the least. I'm struggling. So I'm not giving you this book like I'm an expert on doing this. I'm giving you this so that the beginner, when you're first starting your bread making journey, you're going to buy a book like this and you're going to struggle too. You might get lucky and pull it off.
You might be natural. But
Or you could be like me and can't get around.
But if you look at the reviews, they're all over the place. Some people think it's made for intermediate people. Some people think it's made for beginners.
I definitely didn't get the ciabatta crumb on it. It's tasty.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of tastes like ciabatta, but... I could put some egg salad on this. I know I made a lot of mistakes. I know that there are people that are going to be watching this video and think that, oh, if you can't do it absolutely perfect, you're not entitled to do it, right? I don't care. They were learning just like I'm learning. They forget that. So remember that self and give yourself some grace. You need to make this over and over again. If you could make this like the advanced person makes it the very first time that you try this, that says more about them than you. You're learning. You're going to struggle. You're going to make mistakes. I make them all the time. I almost got to the point where I was crying my head off because of this. The next time I make it, it's not going to be as hard. So enjoy the journey. Thanks for joining me.